Alright, today we are going to be working on our letterhead and business cards. You should actually already be done with the business card, but both of these projects are kind of connected, at least in our workbook. So we're going to go ahead and open up our workbook by going to our box sync, open the box sync folder, and go to CEO, CEO Challenge, and then we're going to open up our workbook. Once we have our workbook open, we're going to make sure we're on the right page. So we need to be on page 41. We've completed the logo. We have some samples of logos here, and again, just a reminder, your logo should be pretty simple. If you have too much going on, it's going to be distracting. So now that we've got the logo, you've finished your business card on page 41, we're going to start the letterhead here on page 42. So it tells us to open up the document letterhead in student folder, or to launch a word processing program first. This is one of the times we don't have a template, so we're going to go ahead and open up any Microsoft Word program. So I'm going to click on Microsoft Word. If I already have an instance open, it's going to bring up what I have open, so I'm just going to minimize that. You need to have a blank workbook. Once you have your blank page, the first thing you need to do is save. So we're going to go to File, Save As. We're going to save this in the box sync under Student Work, your number and name, and this needs to be your number, your name, and then letterhead. We're going to use this letterhead for several different documents, so you want to make sure you save it. I'm going to save this letterhead too because I already have one saved, but you don't need to do that. So now it's up here, it's been saved, it's changed, it's good to go. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to actually have to follow step by step on the instructions. It tells us to insert a logo in the header. So in order to do that, we need to click on the header, and when you see your cursor is going to change to this shape right here, looks like a page with a blue box above it. You want to make sure that your cursor is like that, and we're going to double click in the header. Once we've double clicked in there, we're going to go to Insert, Photo, and Picture from File. This will allow us to find our logo. So we're going to go to Box Sync, CEO. You're going to find your logo under your student work. And let me find my logo. I guess I can use this one that, oh, let's see, I'll use one of my old ones. Alright, so I'm going to click on my logo, and you'll notice that it gets really, really big. Depending on the size of your logo, it takes up the whole header. We don't want that because, again, we want to look at the sample. And when you look at the sample, you see that the logo is really small, and it's just a part of the letterhead off to the left. And so we want ours to look like that. The best way to do that, we first need to turn off the wrap text. So you're going to Control click, go to wrap text, and go to none. And then we are going to now minimize it to a good size, and we're going to move it to the logo. Now you need to be careful that it doesn't go too high, because when you go to print, if it's this high, you might not be able to see the top. So you want to make sure that there's a little bit of space on the top and on the sides so that if it prints, it'll come out. Now we got the logo in the header, we're going to see what our next step is. So resize and position the logo, we just did that. Now it asks us to type our mission statement and center align it and press enter. So in order to find our mission statement, I'm going to click on the logo again. We need to go to our box sync folder. You need to go to our student work, and you need to have your company overview. Your company overview is going to have all the information you need to use for several of your projects, including your address, phone number, and in this instant, the mission statement. So I'm going to click on mission statement, and I'm going to just go ahead and copy it over, so I'm not retyping it. Again, there's 3 different ways to copy. If you don't remember how, go to the copy video and watch that. I'm just going to do Command C because I find it to be the quickest. But you can also Control click and go to copy. I'm going to click on the text, and it's hard to see the cursor because it's behind the logo, but I'm going to go ahead and enter the text. I'm going to highlight it, and I'm going to go to center align. Now this box right here allows you to change whether it goes to the left, the middle, or to the right, and we want it to be in the middle. So now we have our logo with the mission statement, providing personalized plans for individual needs. Now let's look at the workbook and see what's next. It wants to type our website address and right align it. So I'm going to click. I'm going to go ahead and space down, and again we want to make sure sometimes, let's see, sometimes you might have to readjust your logo if you press enter, but I'm going to go ahead and type in my website address, so www.snf.com, and I'm going to highlight it and I'm going to right align. So now it's all the way on the right hand side. It asks to format our text as desired, which means we can change color. I think black is a good color. We can change the font if we want to find a font that's a little bit more interesting. I like American typewriter sometimes. It looks kind of cool, so I might change the font. I might want to make my mission statement a little bigger and underline it because it's important. It's bold, but maybe I want it a tad bit bigger, so I'm going to highlight it, maybe change it to 14. So you can go ahead and change and format the text however you want. Then it asks us to put a line from the Shapes menu and draw a line below all of the information. So we've already added shapes before, but we're going to go ahead and do it again. We're going to go to Insert, Lines, and we're just going to select the basic line. You don't want one with an arrow or anything else. We just want a basic line. And then we are going to draw it from one side all the way to the other. Now you'll notice my line was a little crooked. You just need to bring it up so that it's straight across. Once you have your line, you can go ahead and format it. So I'm going to click on it, and I am going to go to Format, and let's see. Let's change the color of the line. Blue doesn't really go with the color of my company. Green is a little bit better, so I'm going to change it to green. Now I have a logo, my mission statement, and my website address with a line underneath. So when I click off of the header and I'm ready to start writing, this will be at the top. Now I probably want to save because I've done a lot of work, so you want to always be sure to save. You want to save and save often. And now we're going to go on to the next step, which is to switch to our footer. So we're going to go down to the footer, and just like with the header, we're going to see that little page with the box, and we're going to click on it to open the footer up. Now it tells us in our footer that we need to refer to our company overview to complete the selection, and we need to add all of the information that we see on the template or on the sample, which is the website address, the street address, the city, the country, the zip code, phone number, fax. Maybe you want to put email address instead of fax right here. But you're going to want to insert all of this information. And as you go, you can insert shapes. Those might be a little bit big, but in between you're going to want to add some kind of a separator. I find that even just the asterisk works, so you could start putting your address, put an asterisk mark, and we find all of that information again in our company overview. So all of my information, my telephone number, my cell phone number, email address is all located right here. When you're done, yours should look just like this preview here, except it'll have your information. Go ahead and save, and you're done with the project.